Okay, we're going to get ready to, I'm going to show you how we print a baseball. And this is your baseball holder right here. Now I've taken some of the putty that you've also got included and took off a couple of chunks off of this. And I'm going to put this just in the bottom of your holder. Now this holder has a ring of like the soft side of the Velcro around the edges. This will help the ball stay snug, but also put a couple of these in here. That'll kind of help it sit and stay snug. Again, the baseballs, now this is the one that I just picked up at Walmart. You can get these for about $1.25, $1.50, so you don't have to really stock these. We do have some available that doesn't have any imprints anywhere on it. This allows you, like here, we're going to print on this side here. But if you get something with no markings, this allows you to print on the different side, or actually even all the different spaces. I charge an extra $2 if they want an action shot, on the back side. You can very easily sell two pictures for on there for $14. I kind of really retail them out at $12. Sometimes if the whole team orders, I'll sell them for $10, and then they can get an additional action photo on the back or another side, for additional $2. I would not recommend, putting team pictures, on. It gets fairly small. The faces you will not be able to see. So I really only use individual shots, or maybe 2 shots, 2 people if they happen to be brothers. I'm going to set this in, I'm going to hold this at an angle so you'll be able to see here. I'm going to set this down. Now again, you want the seams to be barely showing here. Now you want to make sure that everything is lined up correctly, so that way here, when I roll it over, it's even. So that way, because it's going to print just right here. So I'm going to push this, after I kind of get where I want to set, I'm going to push it down. Again, be very careful. You don't want to get any of your fingerprints on, because here's the ink aid. So we want to push this down. Like again, I kind of do a rule of thumb, have that shown right there. Because what I'm going to do is we're going to set this in here. And again, we're going to set it in here, and then we're going to move over. We're going to raise your printing head. We just printed 3 1/4, but we're going to raise this up so that way I know it won't hit. I'm bringing it over again. There's a switch in here, and we're going to bring it down again to the 1/8 inch above. Again, I'm lowering it down. Got it where I want it. Set it right here, and then I'm going to flip it back over. It's going to go back to the starting point. And again, you put almost the seam straight up and down. You really cannot. This is where you'll actually kind of do a judgment. You'll kind of learn by trial and error. You'll do a couple balls, and you'll get it down pat to where, because it's going to be printing directly up at the top of the center of the seam. And again, we're going to use this lever here to lift up, because I want to disengage that motor. Kind of like we did for the ornaments. I don't want this to spin, so I'm going to lift this up. We're going to leave the white bushing on this motor wheel that actually we took off for the ornaments, but we're going to put it back on for the baseball, so that way it's a shorter distance and it keeps it proportionally when you print. Our print size is a little over 1.5 inches wide by 2 inches oval, and you'll see it works very good. So we're going to make sure you put on your shim right here back on that's used for the flat here. Again, we're going to disengage. Now again, I'm going to go to print right here. Again, I want to make sure that I have this where I want it. Now my print, we're going to print the ornaments. We printed landscape, but here we're going to print portrait. I'm lifting this up, my settings here. You're going to hear it. Make sure it starts when it starts going back and forth, as you can see here. Again, I'm going to zoom in. This literally only takes about 30 seconds to print. Now this picture that I have, it was kind of it was a blurry picture, so again, your print is only as good as the quality picture, but it turns out good. Sometimes, like here, you may want to darken some of the darken the photo, but here, right there, that's a good image. Now when I ink aid, you see on the setup video that I spray the top of this with the frost. That way, because the leather has a hard time with the ink aid grasping on it. So I'll spray, just kind of do a mist on it, let that dry really a minute, 2 minutes, and I'll brush ink aid. Again, you want to make sure you ink aid all the way down to here. So again, you just never want to run a ball you know, by accidentally not doing ink aid. But one good thing, I could go before, if I didn't put the post coat on this, I use semi-gloss, you know, to spray because I don't want a high gloss on this. But you could go, if you messed up, you can go wash this off with warm water. Again, you'd have to pre-coat it with the frost and the ink aid. But again, that's really as simple as you see here. Okay, now we're going to print a softball. I'm going to go ahead and put the couple of pieces of the putty inside here. Again, just like the baseball, we're going to set this in and make sure that it is even, and we're going to tilt this up where the seams are just probably about a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch from the edge right here. Again, I'm going to make sure, I'm going to look at it here from the top and make sure, and then we're going to press firmly down. We want to make sure it's seated all the way down. Then we're going to set it in here and center it in your guides. And we're going to tilt it and make sure that the top of the seams where we want the printer head to start. Again, I'm going to move over. I'm going to raise up printer head. I'll move it over. I'm going to lower it. Again, to be about an eighth of an inch over. And also, I'm going to rock it. I'm going to move it here to make sure that when I spin it here, it just kind of does a little here. It's a little bit high at that point, so I'm going to raise it up just a little bit right there. Okay, so that way it won't hit. And I'm going to move it back over here to my starting point. And I'm going to move it back over. I'll make sure I have it on the best, again the best, the Lexmark photo paper, and then also portrait. Here we go. Again, remember to disengage the motor. Again, your image size is 2 inches by about 2.5. Again, I'm going to look at almost disengaging the motor when I get ready to have it hear it spin. It's almost going to be done. That way I lift it up. That way it doesn't spin all the way around, but again. There's your finished product. It looks really good.